Childhood best friend and her fiancé planned to trap me in a threesome during my visit. When I refused and tried to leave, he blocked the door and she just sat there watching, so I escaped. I hadn't seen Jolene since she moved to Austin 3 years ago. We'd been best friends since 5th grade, the kind where you finish each other's sentences and share secrets you'd never tell anyone. When she called saying she was engaged and wanted me to visit for the weekend, I booked a flight without hesitation. Her fiancé Brody picked me up from the airport. He was tall with a buzz cut and this overly confident energy that made me uncomfortable immediately. He kept calling me gorgeous and touching my lower back as we walked. I moved away each time, but he'd find a reason to get close again. At dinner that night, they were both drinking heavily and kept refilling my glass even though I said I was fine. Jolene laughed louder than usual and Brody kept asking if I was seeing anyone. When I said no, they exchanged this look that made my skin crawl. I told myself I was being paranoid. This was Jolene. She braided my hair at sleepovers. She held me when my dad left. She wouldn't do anything weird. Saturday afternoon, Jolene suggested shopping and things felt normal again. She tried on dresses and we laughed about old times. Then she started asking strange questions. Had I ever been with a couple? Was I open-minded? I laughed nervously and changed the subject, but she kept circling back. That night, they cooked dinner and opened 3 bottles of wine. Brody put on music that was way too slow for a casual evening and dimmed the lights without asking. After dinner, Jolene sat next to me on the couch and put her hand on my knee. She whispered that she and Brody had been talking about me for months, that they both thought I was beautiful and wanted to share something special with me. My stomach dropped. I pulled away and stood up fast enough to knock over my wine glass. The red wine spread across their white carpet like a warning I should have seen hours ago. I said no clearly and firmly. I said this wasn't something I wanted and I was going to the guest room. Brody stood up and his whole demeanor changed. The charm evaporated and something cold replaced it. He said I was overreacting and they were just being honest. Jolene stayed on the couch watching me with this blank expression that terrified me more than anything Brody was doing. I grabbed my phone and said I was calling an Uber to a hotel. That's when Brody walked to the front door and leaned against it with his arms crossed. He said I wasn't leaving until we talked like adults. He said they'd spent months planning this weekend and I owed them a conversation. I looked at Jolene desperately waiting for her to tell him to move, to be my best friend for 1 second. She just sat there sipping wine watching me like I was a show she'd already seen. My hands started shaking and I realized this wasn't spontaneous. This was calculated. The airport pickup where Brody sized me up, the heavy drinking, the questions about my love life, the dimmed lights, everything was choreographed. Brody stepped toward me saying nobody was going to hurt me and I just needed to relax. His voice was soft, but his body blocked the only exit. I backed toward the hallway holding my phone. I told him if he didn't move, I was calling police. He laughed and said I was being dramatic. Jolene finally spoke from the couch in this flat, rehearsed voice. She said I should just try it once and if I didn't like it, we could stop. Like she was offering me food I hadn't tried. I felt sick. I walked fast to the guest room and locked the door. I called an Uber with hands shaking so badly I could barely type. I heard them talking in low voices outside. Brody knocked twice. Soft, patient knocks. That patience scared me more than anger would have. My Uber was 7 minutes away. I opened the window. First floor apartment. I threw my suitcase out and climbed through after it landing hard on the grass, twisting my ankle, but I didn't stop. I dragged my suitcase around the building and waited behind a dumpster until headlights appeared. The driver asked if I was okay. I said no. I flew home the next morning. Jolene texted 12 times. First apologetic, then confused, then angry. The last message said I embarrassed them and ruined everything, and I wasn't the friend she thought I was. I blocked both of them. 2 months later, a girl messaged me on Instagram asking if I'd visited Jolene and Brody in Austin. The same thing happened to her. She wasn't as lucky because she froze. She asked if I'd talk to a detective. I said yes immediately.